Well, let's readjust the camera here. Um, so something happened today that I thought I would talk about a little bit. I went outside. I walked down the steps outside my home, and I heard some rustling down beneath me, and there was a gopher, quite a large gopher, probably about that big, male, fluffy, furry gopher, rummaging around in the leaves. And I love nature. I love all animals, all conscious life forms. I bent down and I started to communicate with this gopher. And this gopher seemed unusually friendly. And then I noticed that it was having a little bit of difficulty walking and rolled over a couple of times and uh, started to look to me to be maybe not in full health. I took a couple of photos, I brought it some food, um, and I contemplated what to do about it. Now, it's can be traumatizing for any animal to be removed from its natural habitat, so I kind of left it there, and, an hour later, I came back to take a look, and this gopher was lying out more in the open, and it was just not moving at all. It was breathing, um, but it wasn't responding to much of anything that was going on around it. And this is not what gophers do, especially during the daytime. There are hawks, there are predators around. It could have been easily eaten, and I started to wonder maybe it was dying or if it had been poisoned. Um, so I picked up this gopher and didn't struggle at all. I brought him inside. I made a nice little bed for him out of leaves and a little towel that I put over the top of him to keep him warm. I put in there some water. I put in there a range of different foods for him to eat. And I thought I will keep him somewhere safe to see if he recovers in a safe environment rather than being out where he's going to be eaten by birds of prey within a couple of hours. And then I went to my social media and I posted a photo of this gopher online. And I said, "Hey, listen, I'm trying to save this gopher. I think it may have been poisoned. Does anybody have any ideas, any suggestions about how to save this gopher?" I'm fairly knowledgeable about wild animals, but I thought I would see if anybody has any suggestions. And there were two types of people. I mean, it's probably an overgeneralization, but two types of people responded. There were people who were caring, and they obviously cared about the gopher. They could see why I was trying to help the gopher because this is a real animal here. This is a mammal with a brain. This is a conscious being who is clearly not having a good time. And they feel empathy and they want to help this gopher and they want to help me. And they're supportive in their comments and they're supportive towards the gopher. That's one category of people. And then the other category of people were basically laughing. Why is this guy trying to save a gopher? Gophers are pests. We need to kill the gophers. And in this social media post uh, where I was clearly trying to save a conscious sentient being, there were people out there, human beings out there, that were posting suggestions on how to kill gophers, how to get rid of them and to kill them. And this really highlights to me so many things about humanity. It shows me that there are good people out there who care about other beings, other life forms. And that's what we need to be doing if we're reaching out to other life forms. If we're trying to make contact with alien beings that are out there, we don't know what they're like. Um, and and we need to care unconditionally about them because they're conscious, regardless of their size, their appearance, the way they lead their lives, even their intelligence. We should be caring about these beings. Um, it also shows us that there are people out there who just don't have that empathy for others. It shows that there are people out there who don't think twice about killing a life form. I suspect that somebody put down poison. Somebody put down poison to kill this beautiful, conscious, living organism. And that is the kind of person who our alien friends are not interested in connecting with. Now, sadly, there are so many people on this planet who fall into that latter category, that they just don't have the empathy to care about other organisms, other life forms. And it could be that some people that are watching this video might be thinking, what is this guy talking about? Trying to save a gopher? Gophers are pests. I have a moral vision, a vision of the future, a vision of where we need to get to. And my vision is universal peace, universal love, and universal well-being. A lot of people like that vision when they hear it, because I guess they think of, well, I like that because that means people are going to be loving and kind and peaceful and generous towards me and look out for my well-being. But what we really mean by that is to extend our peace and our love and our desire for well-being to all conscious life forms. That's what universal means. And until we as a species can understand that, can get behind that, um, we're not ready to connect with the other species in the universe. Because when we spread out into the universe, we're going to be exploiting the beings that we find. We are going to be killing some of them, eating some of them, taking some of their resources, not respecting their space, their territory, their lives, their consciousnesses, their emotions, their well-being. We're going to be treating some well if they have stuff that we want from them. We're going to be treating others badly. That's what humanity presently is. So my message here that I'm trying to give is, if you're serious about this alien contact thing, if you want disclosure, if you want to be if you want to become a part of these communities, these interspecies communities, then I encourage people to please start treating all species with peace, with love, with kindness, with respectfulness, with empathy, with consideration for their well-being. Now, there may be times in our lives when defending ourselves against some beings, some animals, is necessary. I mean, if a tiger were to try and eat me, or a snake were to try and bite me, or a mosquito were to try and bite me, I would try and stop it. I would do something about it, and I would use reasonable force to try and stop it. I wouldn't want to harm any of those animals, but I would harm them if they were trying to harm me. But this gopher that I tried to save today, it wasn't harming me. It was burrowing underneath one of my steps outside, and that was weakening one of my steps. And there's a lot of gophers in these hills where I live, and they do cause a lot of erosion, you could say, damage to, I guess, the humanliness of my outside. But this is as much their land as it is in my land. So I am choosing to live in harmony with them. And if they are burrowing holes in my path, if they're burrowing holes underneath my steps, I'm letting that happen. And I'm happy to be living in harmony with them. If they come into my home and start trying to bite me, then I'm gonna do something about it. But I'm going to be nice to them in the meantime. So when I moved into this property, in the basement, the previous owners had left a lot of their possessions behind, including gopher traps, squirrel traps, uh, mouse traps, rat traps, poison. Um, they clearly did not live in harmony with nature. I have seen animals get stuck in glue traps before. I have spent several hours carefully trying to prise off all of the feathers of a bird that got stuck like this on a glue trap. People, I I really wish that people could care more about animals and not harm them unnecessarily. Um, as much as is practically possible, we should be moral to as many species as is practically possible. It is practically possible for me to lead a good life and let the gophers live a good life outside, even if they're damaging the appearance of my surroundings. If it's practically possible to live in harmony with other animals, please do. And if it's practically possible for us to live in harmony with each other, please do. How did I respond to those people who wanted to kill the animal that I was trying to save? I didn't respond. There's no point. I am being peaceful back to them, and it's hard sometimes for us to do that, not to try and harm those people who are clearly harming us, and their comments are harmful because they're promoting death, they're promoting killing. Um, But living in harmony with others is important, with animals, with each other, and with spirits in the spirit realm, and with advanced non-human entities that are out there. So I'm going to ask everybody who's watching this, first of all, thank you, those people that are watching this both now live and in the future in the recording. Thank you for watching this. I'm going to ask you to think about the vision, universal peace, universal love, universal well-being, and just consider, is that something that makes sense to you? Is it something that, as much as is practically possible, you can live your life according to? I thank you very much for watching. I wish you peace, love, and happiness, peace, love, and well-being. Take care. Goodbye for now.